Rain tapped relentlessly against the windows of my new home in Crestwood Heights, a quaint suburban enclave I'd chosen for its promise of peace and a pristine, professional-grade tennis court nestled in the backyard. I'd sunk $40,000 into that court during escrow a personal sanctuary. I envy sonade hosting quiet mornings with a coffee in one hand and a racket in the other. That dream shattered on a crisp October Tuesday in 2024, just 3 weeks after I'd unpacked the last box. I stood in my kitchen, still in pajamas, watching through the fogged-up glass as a group of 6 strangers marched across my lawn like they owned it. Rackets swung casually over their shoulders, a cooler dangled from one man's grip, and their laughter cut through the drizzle. My brow furrowed. This wasn't a neighborly stroll gone astray, this was deliberate. I yanked open the back door, the cold air biting my bare feet as I stepped onto the patio in slippers. "Excuse me," I called, voice sharper than I intended. "This is private property." A woman turned, her auburn hair impeccably styled despite the weather, her coat pristine and tailored. She carried herself with the confidence of someone used to being obeyed. "Oh, you must be the new resident," she said, her smile tight, not reaching her hazel eyes. "I'm Victoria Hensley, president of the Crestwood Heights HOA. We play tennis here on Tuesday mornings. It's in the community bylaws." Her tone was syrupy, but it dripped with condescension. I crossed my arms, rain speckling my sleeves. "I've read the bylaws, every word. There's no mention of my tennis court being community property." Victoria tilted her head, her entourage exchanging smirks. "You must have overlooked Addendum B. The previous owner agreed to shared access. It's all quite official." She waved a manicured hand dismissively. "Feel free to bring it up at the next meeting. Second Wednesdays, 6:30 p.m. Sharp." With that, she turned, her group trailing her onto my court. The first thwack of a tennis ball against the pristine surface I'd had resurfaced just last week hit me like a punch to the gut. I stood there, rain soaking through my slippers, fury simmering in my chest. That court wasn't just an amenity, it was why I'd bought this house. I'd moved here from the city for quiet, for control, not to have my backyard commandeered by entitled neighbors. Over the next few days, I tore through every document from my home purchase title, deed, HOA covenants. Nothing hinted at shared access. My realtor, Karen, sounded baffled when I called her. I'd have flagged any easement or shared use clause, she insisted. That wasn't disclosed. Wednesday brought more Yin VY TED players. Thursday, a gaggle of kids showed up with a Coach Victoria's husband, Greg, barking drills like he was at Wimbledon. By Friday, I returned from a grocery run to find a full-blown doubles match underway, complete with a folding chair and a pitcher of lemonade on my patio table. I cornered a sideline mom who looked less smug than the rest. "Was this court always shared?" I asked. She fidgeted, glancing toward Victoria, who was adjusting a net that didn't need adjusting. "We've been here a year," she murmured. "They told us all amenities are communal." Victoria's obsessed with this court used to have one at her old place before they moved here. She scurried off before I could press further. That night, I stormed into the HOA meeting, a binder of property records under my arm. The room Victoria's ostentatious Lee VY-ing room, lined with tennis trophies and framed photos of her in mid-serve held 15 residents on mismatched chairs. Victoria presided like a queen, gavel in hand. "Next item," she announced as I shot at my hand. "This isn't an item," I said, voice steady despite the adrenaline. "It's a property rights violation. There's no easement, no agreement, no record anywhere that says my tennis court is communal." Her lips thinned. "Addendum B, clearly." "Show me," I cut in. "Because it's not in my closing docs, not filed with the county, and my realtors never heard of it." Silence stretched. A wiry man introduced as Carl. The treasurer fumbled with a stack of papers. "Maybe an oversight," he mumbled. Victoria's eyes narrowed, but I pressed on. "I own that court exclusively. Any further use without my consent is trespassing, and I'll act accordingly." "We've always used it," Victoria snapped. The previous owner was a team player. "Really?" I bluffed, leaning forward. "Because I spoke with him yesterday. They were shocked to hear about this. I hadn't reached Theme yet, but Victoria's flinch told me everything. This wasn't a mistake. It was a power grab. As I walked home, my neighbor Tim waved from his porch. "Gutsy, taking on Victoria," he said, voice low. "Last guy who did got buried in fines until he left. Watch yourself." Peace returned briefly until the certified letter arrived a week later. Multiple violations noted. It read, listing absurdities. Tennis court lines non-compliant with HOA color standards. Recreational structure exceeds height limits. I laughed aloud, then spotted Victoria outside, measuring my court fence with a tape measure, her expression smug. "This ends now," I said, stepping out. She didn't flinch. "Oh, it's just starting." Board voted last night. Fines begin Monday. Due law 150 daily per violation. Funny, I shot back, since meetings are only on second Wednesdays unless there's an emergency notice. I got none. Her smile twitched. "Oversight. We'll resend." That weekend, I installed cameras. Monday, a county official knocked, citing a complaint about unpermitted modifications to my court. I grinned. "Perfect. I've got a complaint too." Victoria didn't know I was a senior auditor for the state's housing authority. I didn't just know regulations, I wrote them. The inspector, a friend named Lisa, found my court flawless but flagged irregularities in Victoria's own property filings. Her garage extensions unpermitted, Lisa whispered as we EU'd her report over coffee. And her tax assessments are suspiciously low. That night, I dug deeper, spreading HOA records across my dining table. Victoria had been president for 6 years. Bylaws capped it at 3. Board members who'd resigned were all replaced by her allies. Then my doorbell rang. A jittery man in his late 50s stood there, rain streaking his glasses. "I'm Paul Grayson, ex-treasurer," he said. "I saw what's happening with your court. It's not new." Over tea he refused to drink. Paul spilled everything. Victoria targeted homes with unique features, pools, gazebos, my court claiming them doctored bylaws and fines. "I quit when I couldn't account for due law 180,000 in dues," he said. She paid her brother's company due law 120,000 for tree maintenance. He got no trees that size. When I asked, she suggested I was overwhelmed. Then my garage got violation notices daily until I stepped down. "Why do you stay quiet?" I asked. He stared at the floor. "My son's car got vandalized after I pushed back. No proof it was her, but..." I showed him my findings. His eyes widened. "Check safe haven storage, Unit 19, he whispered. "That's where they hide the real books." The next day, I staked out the storage facility under the guise of touring units. Carl, the treasurer, emerged from Unit 19 with a box, darting glances around before DRIVYing to Victoria's. Through her window, I saw her and 2 board members rifling through papers, gesturing toward my house. My phone Buzz County records showed Victoria's home value dropping annually, while ours rose, slashing her taxes. Something stank worse than I'd thought. Tuesday dawned with a construction crew at my fence, claiming a community court upgrade, ordered by Victoria. I filmed them tearing up my landscaping as I called the police. Officer Patel arrived, hesitant. "This looks CIVYL, he began, until I showed my deed. "That's criminal trespass," he conceded. The crew fled as Victoria's BMW roared up. She stormed out, sunglasses hiding her fury. "You've crossed the line," she hissed. "The board's placing a lien for unpaid fines due law 18,000. Patel stepped in. "Ma'am, we're investigating vandalism here. I'd leave if I were you." She sneered. "HOA business trumps police in covenant matters." "Property damage doesn't," he said coolly. That night, a text from an unknown number. "Library, 8 p.m. We can help. Come alone." Paul, I assumed. 9 residents huddled in the library's back room, faces tense. Ellen, a former secretary, spoke first. "Victoria forced me out when I questioned due law 30,000 in consulting fees to her cousin." Others chimed in retaliation. "Fake fines, coerced compliance." Paul handed me a flash drive. 5 years of records, he said. Her brother's firm got Dula $250,000 for court upkeep on a court she didn't own until you moved in. Headlights swept the lot. Victoria's BMW circled slowly. She's watching, Ellen breathed. Good, I said. We're watching back. Next morning, my car's windshield lay shattered, a tennis ball from Victoria's custom set logo, and all nestled in the glass with a note. Careful what games you play. I photographed it, called the cops, and smiled. Her temper was her first misstep. At a diner, Paul slid me another drive. They've targeted properties for years, he whispered. They scope out features, rewrite rules, take over. Your court was the prize they planned to claim your whole lot for a community center once fines piled up. The files confirmed it. Photos of my court pre-purchase, emails plotting new owner pressure, budgets for legal fights. One chilling note from Victoria. Phase 3 full acquisition. Ideal clubhouse site. My neighbor Lila yanked me into her house that afternoon. They took our pergola 3 years ago, she said, eyes red. Greg lost his job fighting them, then had a stroke. Victoria sent a card saying they'd respect our space like a taunt. Her son added, Mom spoke up when they targeted your court. They shut her down. There's more of us, Lila said. But we need proof and someone they can't scare. State auditor, I replied. Started yesterday. Her jaw dropped. That's game-changing. That night, an HOA email announced court enhancements starting dawn permits attached I hadn't signed. At sunrise, trucks rolled in, Victoria directing in a hard hat labeled project lead. I charged out as they eyed my fence. Stop, I shouted. The foreman waved a permit. Community work, ma'am. Victoria sauntered over, 3 board members in tow. Morning. Just implementing last meeting's vote. We never voted to destroy my property, I said, neighbors watching. Her attorney, Miles Trent, stepped up. You've racked up 19 violations due lot 22,000 due in 10 days. Covenants you signed allow this. I pull my ace. Funny thing, Victoria. As of yesterday, I'm the state's lead auditor for HOA finances. My first case? Crestwood Heights booked 6 years back, including your projects. Her face blanched. The crowd hushed. Construction's paused, I said. Permits are under re-VYEW. My boss called as I walked inside. They're pushing to pull you conflict of interest. Big political pull behind it. And I held my breath. You got a partner now. This is priority 1. At 6:45 a.m., Agent Dana Pierce arrived, financial crime specialist, all business. You've pissed off someone powerful, she said, unloading files. This HOA's been flagged before cases vanished. Someone's shielding them. We poured over Paul's drives. Dana whistled. Money laundering, 101 due, law, 400,000 shuffled, through projects to family businesses. Lila and 4 neighbors arrived, spilling years of abuse. Greg's pergola, a widow's greenhouse, a vet's workshop, all seized. It's not just features, Dana said. Victoria's realty firm flips homes here, hyping amenities she steals to jack up prices. An emergency HOA meeting hit that night, standing room only. Victoria played VY Tim. One homeowner's personal grudge threatens our volunteers, she said, eyeing me. Trent added, we filed a complaint, her audit's a conflict. Dana nodded at me. I stood. No conflict of EE, recused myself. Agent Pierce is lead now. Gasps. I unveiled maps. These red zones? Private properties Victoria's board claimed illegally over 6 years. Residents surged forward, spotting their homes. Dana took the mic. We've traced due law 400,000 in dubious transfers, due law 70,000 to Greg Hensley's coaching for a private court, for starters. Chaos erupted. Victoria pounded her gavel. Then the door swung open, a news crew stormed in. Anonymous tip, the anchor grinned. Care to comment, Mrs. Hensley? She faltered. This is private. Public meeting, Dana cut in. No privacy vote recorded. Residents unloaded years of fear, coercion, theft. Greg bolted. Dana tailed him, returning with Paul and a laptop. He tried wiping the server, she said. We've got all. Victoria's defiance cracked. Everything was for the community. By bullying us, a retiree shouted. I moved to oust the board. Seconded, Lila called. Hands shot up overwhelming. Victoria's empire crumbled. Her realty firm's role emerged, next selling homes with stolen perks. Dana froze the HOA accounts as elections loomed. Outside, Victoria cornered me. You've ruined me. This was nothing before I came. You build it on theft, I said. Enjoy your court? It's up to code inspector check today. She stormed off. Lila and VY-ted me to a neighborly BB Creel community. Bring your racket, she grinned. Fair use, not forced. My boss called as we played that first free game. Mayor's sweating Greg's firm ties to city contracts. This is state level now. Across the court, Trent snapped photos. The fight wasn't over. But as kids laughed and neighbors cheered, I knew we'd already won something bigger. 3 months later, rain soaked my hair as Sprinklers Victoria's unpermitted upgrade flooded my office. My laptop glowed with the county's email. Emergency boundary, check tomorrow, 9 a.m. Then Paul called. She's claiming you faked your credentials at an emergency meeting tonight pushing for lawsuits. At my door, Victoria stood with a faux inspector. Structural issues, she cooed. I bluffed a call to the chief inspector. They fled. Dawn found me mapping her corruption due law $300,000 to her sister. Fake minutes, 5 prior VY Tims. A text. Cafe lot, 7 a.m. Alone. A photo attached Victoria with Mayor Ellis, my next audit target. Councilwoman Hayes met me, not Paul. HOA funds hit the mayor's foundation, she said. Quit or fight? Fight, I replied, handing her my dossier. News broke that day reporters swarmed as Hayes and the state attorney grilled Victoria. She caved, dropping claims. Elections ousted her. Paul led reforms. Neighbors proposed a shared court deal maintenance split, schedules set. We played our first tournament as the investigation climbed to the mayor. Victoria blamed me still, Dominic said one night. I smiled, watching a kid ace a serve. She wanted a court enjoyed. She just didn't know how to share it right. The final report named county players. Tomorrow, it'd go public. Tonight, laughter and tennis balls filled the air VY Tory enough for now. If you were the one in this story, how would you react? Would you stand up and fight back, or accept the unreasonable pressure and control from the HOA? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this VY Deo with more people. Your small action gives us the motivation to keep bringing you more intense and engaging stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next VY Deo.